Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. Got Lucky juggling Jason with me. I call him Lucky because he is lucky.
Champ in your mouth. Champion.
Of what?
Come on now. Every year we still had the same conversation.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to talk about, had a chance to speak with Deshaun Simons and Cranston Williams, who just returned from Jamaica. Historic moment, having a Bermudian officiate in a Premier Jamaican League match. Also, the under-17 women are in Florida. Training camp going on. They played a match recently. We'll talk about that. Also, the Olympics is underway. The Winter Olympics is underway. Vanessa, I want to say Vanessa Williams. Vanessa James and her partner, Morgan Cypress, they've concluded competing. Not the result they were looking for, but we'll get to that as well. And then, of course, we have quarterfinal of the FA Cup this coming weekend. So
interesting matchups also.
Oh, yeah. But we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber-to-the-home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber-to-the-home network.
Now, Jay, if you saw the interview with Deshaun, he was really humble but excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. 2018 is a big year for him. Having the opportunity to be in Jamaica, get a feel for another Caribbean island of that, in that position of, hey, these people don't know you. They don't care two hoots about you. And to hear how he had to manage everything that was thrown at him. Something that, and he's only 23. So it's something that he had to go through. And I think he's now come on the other side, and I don't think he fears anything now.
Yeah, interesting to listen to the interview. Some people say Bermuda's another world, but in most cases, we're like a lot of other places in this world.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much preparation or how much somebody tells you what the atmosphere is going to be like until you actually experience it.
Oh, yeah.
So the good thing is that he did have some knowledge. And he's got a thick skin.
Yeah.
He's got a thick skin. And knowing to go into this or that arena, you know you better have some thick skin.
Right.
But in saying that, I think he's probably even more confident now going into the next arena, because referees around the world, it's not just Bermuda where some of, there's a reason why there's been a shortage. A lot of them get abused.
Yes.
Verbally abused. Not some physically.
Some physically, but most of them verbally.
Most of them verbally abused. And for him to take it as a grain of salt, and then even talking about the abandoned match that was done.
Yeah.
Some people think it's only
any Bermuda matches got abandoned.
Why?
Yeah.
Well,
I did afterwards. I did ask him, and I went looking in the Jamaica press, but they don't make a big thing out of it.
Oh no. So it makes you only wonder: is it a norm?
Well, I mean,
that is desensitized.
I would say so. And what you don't want to do is highlight it.
Or highlight it and give the people the power who's doing it.
Yeah. But we do opposite. Yeah.
Well, I would like to see, to be honest with you, it'd probably be nice to just follow up on that story and just see what's the
outcome of it,
the repercussions.
Right.
Because that's
I've been looking through the Jamaica. I've been looking through the Jamaica press to see, and the Jamaica Football Federation as well, to see what comes down the pipeline, and I'm pretty sure something will come down very soon. So once we have that, I'll let you know.
It'd be interesting because, there are things in place from the referee's reports, this, that, and the other. How long does it take? And sometimes we might have a debate.
Right.
Of the time information should be
disseminated and all that. Yeah.
But in saying that, it'll be just nice to see how another jurisdiction deals with things of this nature, even though we claim it's a bad eye or a sore eye
Sure,
for the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
But it happens, and it's just a matter of dealing with it. But to hear the young Simon saying, "Look, this I got to see that firsthand, and how the referees dealt with it. So if he was able to come in that position, he'll at least know of one way how to deal with it."
Right. Well, let's get the interview with Tashawn Simons. Well, welcome to another edition of the Referees Corner right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me today is Tashawn Simons, just back from Jamaica. Obviously, a whirlwind trip, but one I think you will take a lot of information back from and use it wisely. But talk us through the adventure.
Well, on the 6th, I got to Jamaica and I went straight to the JFF. I met a couple of people there from the Referee Association and the JFF as well. I met the General Secretary and the Secretary, that's the admin assistant or whatever, that's out there. I was talking to them for a while. It was another referee that I met down there. She actually is in school down there, so she's from Barbados, so I was talking to her for a little bit. And then on Wednesday I went to the Tivoli and Harborview game that got abandoned because of the fans were throwing bottles and stuff like that, and then after a while they couldn't control them, so they said that was it. Then on Thursday I had my game on the Gardens versus Humble Lions. Very, very fast-paced game. It was at Honor Garden, so what the crowd was like there. So that was actually an experience within itself. The crowd, it was like way bigger than our football games here. It was like probably 300, 400 people minimum. So it was fun, for me, because I was laughing at the stuff they were saying. You know what I mean? Then we had training on the Saturday morning from about 7:30, because we had a little problems getting into the field, but from 7:30, that was a step above what I've been training and what I've been doing. But that was actually fun too. It wasn't just all work. It was still, interactive. You know what I mean? Then we had a technical session after the fitness part, and that was pretty good. We did like some video analysis and stuff like that. Flash dance, which is where you show a clip and then you show yellow or red card or no card. Then on Sunday I had the game with Tivoli and Cavaliers.
Well, let me ask you this question. The abandoned match, did that kind of put your guard up because you were going to be doing a match the next day, and when you get to this like rowdy games of sort, and you being new into Jamaica and going into something for the first time, did you kind of put your guard up a bit?
Not really. For me, it was like seeing what it could get like, but I knew that if the refereeing team had a good game, or what they say will be a good game, because no fan says it's a good game if the team loses, right? But if the refereeing team didn't influence the game, I knew that it shouldn't get like that in our game.
Right.
So, from a lot of the stuff that the people were saying, like the referees were saying down there, it doesn't always get like that, and probably that's the first abandoned match in a good bit of years. So, I just felt that it was just something I can expect, if it does get to that point.
Now, leading into your match, obviously you've got a whole day to go over things with yourself, be mentally prepared, because obviously you've done all the physical work. But what are some of the things you were doing on the Thursday? I want to say Thursday, in preparation for the Thursday night match.
Well, it actually started on Wednesday. I went to the gym on Wednesday and did some moderate intensity, more match preparation type of thing. So it's more a little bit of fitness, some core, some strength exercises, more so upper body. And then on Thursday I just relaxed. I had breakfast, relaxed, had lunch, and then just before every 3 hours for my game, I went to the laws and was reading some things that could come up, and then I went to the game and performed.
Now, you've probably seen one or two of the officials before in Jamaica, but getting to know the officiating crew for you was something different because they would know each other, but you being somebody outside kind of thing, how did they accept you into the field?
They accepted me with open arms. My first game, I knew the two officials that were with me, Odette and Oinko, because Oinko went to the boys tournament in the summer with me, and Odette, we was at the girls tournament together. So I knew those two. The other person I knew is O'Shane, but he was on official duty, so he wasn't there. My second game, it was Oinko and Cardella. She's on the FIFA list, so she just welcomed me as another person that's on the list, So it was no real like, okay, it's a new person, let's like be standoffish. Everybody was like, hi, where you're from, that type of thing.
What about the reception you was getting from the players? Because obviously they're seeing a new face for the first time.
Well, the players they didn't really say anything. They just said what's up and shook hands, and they kept going about their business. It's more so the fans. And one of the coaches was a little like, oh, how we always have foreigners out here, but after they explained like, this is what Bermuda's trying to do and stuff like that. The coach was like, yeah, okay, cool,
Yeah.
Nothing says.
Now, much like Bermuda, because I saw some pictures, and there are the JDF inside the grounds, right by the field. That's a little different because when the Bermuda Police Service show up at games, they're on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Was that a new thing for you?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like when I went to the game on Wednesday, and it was the two police officers at the gate. And the gate's not like a regular gate that we have here. It's like a metal sheet, like you can't see in nothing. So you have to knock on the gate to try to come in type of thing. Luckily the gate was already open, so they saw us. And I'm looking at these two guys like, yo, like this guy's got guns. Like, so I mean, we explained who I was and they let me in. But then I went inside and it was a gate in between where they have the VIP area at Harborview, and then it was a police officer on the other side for gun, and I'm like, yo, like what's going on here?
Where have I come to?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's their equivalent of security, and obviously out there it gets a little worse than her, so they have to have those precautions in place. But I was like, wow, it's that serious.
Now, obviously you've been through this experience now. What are some of the things you take from it?
You can't settle. So for me, this, like, especially the first game, it was definitely a step above Bermuda. So now to work to go to a step above that. You know what I mean? So you can't settle on what you're doing now and whatever you've been doing. So for me, it's just, okay, keep going. What's next? And hopefully I can perform whatever comes next, isn't it?
Now, you talk about that training session. It's one of the longest ones you've ever done in your life, I would imagine. But the drills, you said you done a lot of technical stuff as well and kept you engaged. What are some of the things that you done there that you could bring back and kind of help implement here for officials to go through fitness tests and just collectively together?
Well, most of the fitness, it was like a part of the warm-up, which, because it really was match preparation, because most of the referees had games the next day or Monday or whatever. But the warm-up, it was a little different than what we do here, because it involved core and strength, that type of stuff. And then we went into some technical. For the assistants, it was the Curta test. But the Curta test, it was modified so that you're still paying attention. So you had to have the flag, and then, like for the Curta, you just run whenever you're ready, and then it starts timing. That's not what it was. It was one of the instructors was behind you with a ball. Whenever the ball hit the ground, you go. There was another instructor way on the other side of the field with two cards signaling offside or foul, and you had to be paying attention to see which one he put up to signal, and then keep going. So that was one part of it. And then when we collaborated with the referees, we was running to be in line with the referees, and whenever the whistle went, you had to stop, and whoever wasn't in line got extras.
How many times you got extras?
I didn't get no extras. So, the second part was actually really different because I've never seen nobody do that before. I know, obviously, it's another exercise where you have to keep in line with the ball going down, but you have to keep in line with the referee, which normally referees her, balls her, yeah, there. So it was definitely a different way. I think we could probably try it here.
What was the purpose of that exercise? Because you're right, you usually have the referee behind play, you're in line with play, and the ball's kind of in the middle. So what was the purpose of that particular drill?
To concentrate and to make sure that you're right on. Like, you can't be even a yard here or a yard there. You know what I mean? So it was just basically a concentration and to keep level with the second last opponent.
Now, how do you maintain what you've been going through prior to going to Jamaica, now being in Jamaica, and you come back and you're getting ready for another big adventure in a matter of months? So how are you planning to make sure you maintain fitness level, concentration level, and all the other things that's going to go along with you being prepared for your next international venture?
Well, for this week, I think because during the game on Sunday, I got a little niggle. I think I stepped in like a grade or something that was just off the field. So I think this week I'm gonna take a rest, start back up training on Monday. So on Monday, obviously it's recovery right after the game. That would be on Sunday, and then keep the intensity level at where it was out there, so that whenever I do get called, I'm ready for it, and whenever it's a fitness test, I'm ready for it as well.
Is that kind of hard, being that you be on your own, or do you have to find ways to motivate yourself to stay at that level?
Not really, because Antoine's been coming, and Lyndon comes and make sure that I keep the tempo high with Antoine, because obviously we're trying to get Antoine there too. So we're both pushing each other. We're pushing each other in different areas, obviously, because we both have two different weaknesses. And as long as we both are pushing each other to go further, then we should be there.
Now, we all know there are some youngsters knocking on the door. Obviously, there's a few years before they can actually get to this level. But what sort of messages would you be sending them or telling them what to expect in a few years' time, and how they can possibly be prepared for that next step?
I would actually tell them that Jamaica is just a piece of the cake. You know what I mean? Going to Jamaica is just a piece of the cake. You know what I mean? Every referee, whether they got on the FIFA list or not, wants to go to the World Cup. So obviously that's the ultimate goal. And then once you get to one, you want to go to more. So you just have to keep striving, and once you get to a level where you're on the list, opportunities come to you. So you keep going, some opportunity will come up eventually.
All right, well, we want to say congratulations, good luck, and we'll keep an eye on the progress you're going to be making over the next year, because it's a long year, and it's going to be a busy one for you.
Yes, it is. Any second month. so we've got a lot to go through.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations, boys.
Thanks, man.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yep.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Cranston Williams, the second vice president of the Bermuda Football Association, and also the chairman of referees, just back from Jamaica. If you had to, well, obviously you would have gotten some assessment from Victor and the like. What was the marks given for Tashawn's performance over the two matches and the training sessions?
Actually, the assessment, no, I have not received that as yet. It has to be sent to us, but I did sit in on the post-match comments from the assessor, and basically his marks are very good. He didn't give him marks out of 10. He just told him that he has the basics, he did well. They only told him that in terms of being on the line, he's a little more aggressive in his turn. They told him he also needs to develop a game face, they call it. Because, Tashawn's rather shy and he always smiles and doesn't look serious. So they just told him he needs to develop a game face, but they're very pleased with him. Extremely pleased.
Now, you have some history in Jamaica, obviously, grew up there, going to school there, and you could expect, or you knew what to expect as far as crowds and some of the things that were going to be shouted out and so forth. But how do you think he handled those issues as they came about?
Well, the first game, the Honored Gardens versus Humboldt Lions, he was on the bench side, he was on the far side, so he didn't have very much to do. I think he might have had to make 2 calls. One was offside and the other one's for a foul. So that game was pretty easy. The second game, however, the Tivoli Gardens versus Cavaliers, he was right on the bench side. So that's when he got a taste of what it was really about. And the crowd lets you know if they don't agree with your calls. That's all I'm gonna say. They let you know.
So looking at it overall, how do you think, looking at it from, as you've been the chairman of referees here for a while now, how do you assess his performances?
He handled it well. He acquitted himself, definitely represented Bermuda and the association definitely very, very well. The referees there were very receptive. When we went to the training on the Saturday, we left the hotel at 6. They got to Juvie about 6:45, 7 o'clock. They started training at 7:30 and they didn't finish until 2. They trained for basically almost 2 hours on physical under Mr. Thorburn, which to me was just totally amazing. Rohan, all I can say is a job well done. And then the technical was Mr. Stewart, Dave Meikle, and a couple other gentlemen. I can't recall their names, but he fitted in very well. And everybody, like I said, was very, very receptive and accommodating. I wish we could have training sessions like that here in Bermuda. I will say that first and foremost. And the thing about it for me that stood out was that you had people that traveled from all parts of Jamaica leave. I remember one gentleman saying he left home at 3 o'clock in the morning to make this training session. There was no grumbling, no arguing, and they were like a team. They just blended in, and he just fit in as if he belonged there.
Now, because I was following you online, you were talking about that training session and the length of it and what they were doing. Is there any way, I guess, there's a lot of sports now doing train the trainer and train the coaches and so forth, and obviously there'll be a train the referee. Any possibility of our trainers going to a session of that nature, taking in that information, and then trying to convince the local side that this is what needs to be done in order for you, one, to improve your fitness, to better the game. Let the clubs sort of sort out the players, but if the referees are up to par as far as fitness and up with the laws of the game and up with the game, it makes it that much more easier?
I would say yes, anything's possible. Mr. Stewart and Rohan, they did come here in December and they had an instructors course for my fitness instructors. However, I did mention it to them that this would be a good opportunity or idea. So they let me know that when they have their MA course, which I was in April, and they have theirs will probably be either August or September, that if we wanted to, we could send our instructors down to participate. So that, yes, that idea was already floated about in Jamaica, and they're very receptive to it.
Now, where do we go from here? Obviously, Tashawn has some international duties he has to take care of in the coming months, but where do we go from here? How does this set him up for the task at hand?
I think we managed to remove him from his comfort zone. As we know, our games are not as fast-paced as Jamaica. And the other thing I also saw that was very crucial was that they have ball boys at all their Premier League matches. So the referees and the AR don't have a chance to reset. You have to be on your toes at all times. So that, I think, was a shift for him. And also because the players, I would say a little fitter than what I saw here in Bermuda, that he had to keep up the play and concentrate. And for him, you had the music going when it was, let's say, a stoppage in play, the music going, the fans shouting. So all that, he had to really, really concentrate. So
when you look at the fact that the match was seen on Sunday on Sportsmax, obviously proud because we love to see our Bermudians anywhere globally, but special moment for the Bermuda Football Association and you yourself?
Yes, it was definitely a special moment because actually I didn't realize where I was sitting in the stands I was sitting next to former Prime Minister Edward Seaga, and they came to interview him. So somehow I was seen on Sportsmax unbeknownst to me, and I got a phone call from my wife saying, "Hey, we see you on TV, so wave." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So, and then other people saw Tashawn on the game, and they posted on Facebook. So yeah, for me, it's as I told him, I said, Tashawn, whether you like it or not, you're going to be the poster boy for refereeing in Bermuda for a while. Because I'm sure all the youngsters are probably looking and saying, hey, I know him, I seen him, and there he is right now on TV doing a premiership match in Jamaica. So anything's possible.
Now, I know you've been working behind the scenes on making this more of a reality with a partnership or a relationship with other countries. How are we developing in that regard?
At this time right now, Jamaica's definitely interested in doing it. Canada and the USA, because they're trying to host, they submitted bids to host the World Cup. That right now, that's at a standstill. They can't do any form of new arrangements until that's been confirmed or not confirmed. We've also reached out to Ipswich Town in England, which I'm waiting to hear back from, because they would like to have some of our youth referees, possibly even some of the seniors, travel there to officiate as well. So yes, we're working hard to make some things a reality.
All right, well, please keep us posted on the developments of refereeing in Bermuda, and job well done thus far. But hey, the work has only begun.
Yes, the work has only begun, and I'm hopeful that next year we have another person for the list. That's the aim.
All right, cool. Well, we also got the chance to listen to Cranston Williams there. But one of the things Tashawn was indicating was the fact that it's a difference. And one of those differences was the police. We see police and, what they doing here? He walked in and saw police and said, what am I got myself into? But everywhere is different. Everywhere they look at different scenarios to ensure that, one, the officials are safe, two, the dignitaries are safe, and three, the fans are safe. And what they have to do in those three regards, they take those measures into account.
Yeah, that situation's been something that I've wondered why we do the opposite when it comes to that instance. We know of the antisocial behavior that happens sometimes at these events, and if you look at a week-to-week basis, don't see much presence.
No.
Cup game.
Well, what comes with it is a price tag.
And this is where, but Earl, let's think about it. If we nip it in the bud early, we're not gonna have that price tag down the road.
Right. If we would have nipped it in the bud,
right.
And if we do it now, we won't pay later.
You still gotta do it.
Yeah, it's gotta be done.
It's gotta be done.
Yeah.
So it will be that price tag will be less and less as far.
But every day it goes up.
But if we just pick and choose when we want to do it, then it never really nips it in the bud either. And I know obviously it comes down to money. We talked about this.
Right.
BFA has a hard time bringing in money, especially if people ain't coming through the gate. But this is one of the reasons why people weren't coming in the gate.
Right.
Now the climbing we talked about over the weekend, the climbing seems to have drawn down a bit. So great crowds at Bernard's Park and stuff like that.
Right.
But it just takes the one incident when you have a lack of presence.
Well, let's hope when we get to those picks, we're going to talk about that, because there's only 4 games.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Now, the Bermuda Under-17 national women's team is in Florida, got their practice matches underway, got their training underway, got a chance to speak with Koa Goodchild and Jaden Masters about the match that they played night before last, losing 8-0. But for them, it was an experience and exposure to what needs to be done heading into Nicaragua. Let's get that interview.
In my opinion, I think that it was beneficial for us to receive the result we did yesterday in our game. Although it wasn't a win, I believe that it was more useful to us because it taught us how to be patient and how to be comfortable with being in control without the ball. It was a good initial preparation for Nicaragua because it exposed us to what the teams are going to be like when we get there and how we will have to play to be a contender in qualifying for the World Cup.
Yesterday's game, I think that we as a team learned that we need to be a little bit more patient. We will have to enjoy long periods of time without the ball, but without conceding any goals. With the teams that we will be playing in Nicaragua, it's going to be tough and more than likely just as tough as the team we played yesterday. But we will need to remain focused.
We mentioned a couple of shows ago what the expectations will be for these young women. Now they're to a height where they've never reached. So it's all about the experience now. And we talked about it before. The score lines, just throw all the score lines out.
Throw it out.
Because there's not going to reflect on these young women or what they're going to learn in this tournament. Undersized.
Oh, yeah. Definitely undersized. What got mini-me's, man?
The physicality of our score compared to
what they'll face.
But the experience and what they bring back.
Yeah.
And that's the more important part because it might not be for this group, but now they could tell the under 15s.
Yes.
What to look out for when they get to that next step.
That's right. Yeah.
They could tell the under 13s what to look out for when they get to that step.
But the funny thing is, Jay, a lot of over 70% of these girls are still eligible to play under 15 and right through to under 17.
So when you look at that, they know now personally what I need to go back. Okay, you know what? They say I got to do extras. I think I got to do extra. On my own. If I want to compete at that level. And sometimes, like I said, we need to step out in the lion's den, as the show did, to see where you stand and what it's going to take to compete on that level.
Yeah. Well, they've gone through it, or they're going through it. Yeah. They'll come back, they'll assess it, and then the coaching staff will put together a training plan that will hopefully prepare them for what they'll face in Nicaragua. But again, we said it, and we'll continue to say it. Throw the scoreline out. This is an opportunity for them to test the waters, as they've done in previous years, to test the waters at the ground level. They've made it to the next round on 2 occasions now of this. Now they're to the final. So don't expect too much, but it's a learning curve for them, and we wish them all the best, and we'll be there to support them.
I'll be there to support them 100%. Earl, I tell you, I've spoken about it before. These type of tournaments, they're going to learn more from their opposition. Just other girls who they will meet, form a relationship with, stay in contact with, to know what they do on a daily regimen.
There you go.
Same thing as the coaches.
Yeah.
The coaches will be
pick somebody else's brain
to see what they do on a daily basis and how they get their team to do this, that, and the other. Because when we talked about just our size is not conducive to this level.
No.
It's just not.
We don't have the sheer numbers.
So we have to find other ways and other means. And who knows? The country that we might be playing, they may have gone through this 10 years ago. Or 20 years ago. What did they do to get themselves to a level? So these are the things that we want to take back or take from not only these training camps, but also from the tournament that's coming up.
Yeah. Well, Jay, the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics is underway. Bermuda made a lot of headlines with Tucker Murphy wearing shorts in 0 degrees Celsius.
His knees, Tucker.
Oh. He wearing the Tonga guy that didn't have on a shirt. I'd rather the legs be cool than the upper body be cool. Because, well, not in 0 degree temperatures. I'm sorry. Look, we'd have to negotiate that there. But, Bermuda made a lot of noise in that opening ceremony. But then to have the Bermuda connection with Vanessa Williams representing France, competing in the pairs figure skating with her partner Morgan Cypress. They finished the event last night. Finished 5th overall, just out of a medal spot. But they were overall happy with their performances. Didn't get what they wanted, but another experience for Vanessa and her partner, who are European champions. Not sure if Vanessa will continue. She's 31.
That was my question I was going to ask.
But obviously you have to wait until all the smoke clears, because right now it's time to reflect. Take it all in. Morgan's only 27 or 26. He in 4 years he'll be 31. She'll be 35. You look around at the level in which they skate. If she can keep herself in shape, why not? But it's totally up to how she feels and what she plans to do, and obviously what he plans to do as well, because they are a couple. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, it's that age where, okay, man, can I really put my body through this for another at least 3 years preparation?
Right. Now the good thing is they've moved to the States. They've moved to Miami, which allows them a little more competition, more sponsorship, and maybe they're making that next run.
It's funny you said that, Earl, because I was down there over the Christmas break,
right?
And a joke did come up about ice in Miami.
Not ice drink, but ice.
Ice. The skating rings, and I had a dinner with a couple of guys who actually had kids who were skating in a couple of teams, and it's growing so fast down there, and because of the popularity of the NHL team down there, who's actually doing pretty good, the Panthers down there. So anything relating to ice in Miami, which
people are starting to gravitate.
People starting to gravitate, and it's like, but it's ice.
Yeah,
it's 85 degrees.
Yeah, I was just to say, ice in the sun. Figure it out.
So, but in saying that, like I said, it's to train, but also to recover in warm weather.
Right.
And I think this is where a lot of athletes, especially like you're just talking about with Vanessa and a partner, you could train in those conditions, but then once you get outside, you can recover in a warm atmosphere. It's hard to recover at 0 degrees.
Well, you know what the funny part is, Jay, just listening to you and talking about ice and so forth. Miami is a place where a lot of people go to retire.
Yes.
And when I say a lot of people go, we're talking about different cultures.
Yes.
Europeans, they're tired of living in the cold, so they go to somewhere warm, and but they still love their sports that they were back at home.
Yes.
So if the grandkids come, they want to be able to still do what they do in Europe. So an opportunity to skate, an opportunity to do those European sports are growing. Football is growing in the U.S. They call it soccer, so it's growing. David Beckham's just opening up a stadium, and he's looking at that market there in Miami will be the hub. We talk about New York.
It's a melting pot.
Watch, Cubans,
Haitians,
all the Caribbean,
Haitians. Yeah, South
Americans.
Yes.
Then you start talking about the Europeans.
And he can draw out the Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are very, 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 I hope to say, they might be more excited about the soccer team coming than the actual Marlins.
Oh, yeah. And didn't they go far in baseball last year?
Well, but they just, Jeter just sold basically the team of it.
Well, he sent me a message. I'm going to go down there for some bad
quite
practice.
Interesting, like I said, to hear these winter sports in Miami. With technology now, they've made it possible. And, hey, it's going to be interesting to see how, if she can, or the two of them can recover or even go forward. Because, we don't get to hear people from Bermuda. But we probably say the same thing. We never thought there would have been a bobsledding team from Jamaica.
Yeah. Or Ghana.
Let alone a female bobsledding team.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Not Ghana, Nigeria. Yeah. Nigeria. How you going to train? Sand?
Did you see the story about the coach was going to quit and take the sled?
Yeah.
I'll take my ball and go home. That's horrible.
You think he got it? You need to go out the village?
That's what happens when Earl loses.
Well,
Take my ball and go home.
as you see, folks, I have not taken my ball and I have not gone home, but I'm still here. Let's see how he reacts when that happens.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Being that we're laughing now, Jay, we're on to the quarterfinals of the Bermuda Football Association's FA Challenge Cup. Interesting matchups. Mm-hmm. We're going to go with the easy one first because I want to talk about two of these matchups. The two of these teams just recently played each other, and they were kind of blowouts. And we'll talk about whether or not we expect that this time around. But let's talk about Robin Hood are going St. George.
You know who you're going with?
How you know?
Let me see what you do now, buddy.
How do you know who I'm going with?
Okay, bro.
It's Everson Davis.
Let's see what your boy does now.
It's Everson Davis.
Neil?
Yeah, that's all right.
So who you giving, buddy?
We'll probably pick the same team.
No, I know who I'm picking. I ain't picking this.
Robin Hood.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is February 15, 2018. On tape, he's finally going against St. George's.
Why wouldn't you?
I'm just.
It's not the first. It's not the first time I'm going against St. George's.
No, first time you're going against him as losing. You had him as a draw.
This season, I've picked other teams to beat St. George's. I can't listen. Robin Hood are playing at a higher level, and there's no way I can think St. George's will be able to beat them.
Anything can happen. Anything.
No way at this time. I would love to see it happen.
Donovan Thompson's got a hat trick. Come on now.
If Donovan gets a hat trick, Antoine Russell will get a hat trick. And
Okay,
then John Simmons will score.
I tell you, man, no confidence. No confidence.
They haven't.
Robert's got a bunch of old guys. Timmy's got to play again.
No. Jason's back and go.
It's 2 weeks, 2 games in a row. His ankle's got to heal.
Nathan Baskett could play in. Yeah, that for me is a given. Okay. Robin Hood will advance to the semifinals. Then it's at Southampton Oval where Rangers will host North Village. For me, I'm going to do exactly what I done with the first game, and I'm going to go with North Village only because they're playing at a higher level. Rangers will feel like they have a chance. The tempo of the game may suit North Village a little better.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
But I will say this here. This is a nice litmus test for Rangers.
Oh, yeah. This is a chance to see where they fit in the Premiership for next season. If they make it. But it's one of those.
It would show these players
the difference.
This the level.
Yeah. Now, the first 10 minutes, they might say, "Oh, you guys in the Premier Division are not as good as we think."
It's the last 10.
But yeah, it's as the game goes on because the North Village Rams can sustain that. Where Rangers, 1 week you're playing Island Rangers, and next week you're playing BAA, and next week so you're up and down.
I will say though, the small field, it probably.
Well, North Village play on a small field too.
Well, that's true too. The Rangers a little smaller. So
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But in saying that, I do think it'd be competitive because you still have good goalkeepers, and with goalkeepers, as long as you got a decent goalkeeper, Darius Cox in the middle,
right,
he will be able to shift the guys and put them in place where they need to be. Not to say they're going to win,
right.
But I do not expect a blowout.
No, I wouldn't expect that. Now, this past Sunday at Southampton Oval, Paget lost 5-0 to BAA. These two teams will meet Saturday night at 9 p.m. at BAA, where Paget beat BAA 2-0 in the first half of the season. Now, Paget will have back in their arsenal the likes of Jason Smith, who they had 3 or 4 guys that had to miss the game due to too many cards. There'll be a different look Paget team, but without Dion.
But you said Jason Smith.
Yeah. Confidence in a goalkeeper is a big thing. And
Yep.
I still believe that BAA have just a little bit too much to offer, and I think they're the ones that will come out on top of this game. Paget will look to first consolidate, go at them, but I think their bigger picture right now is making sure that they have enough fit guys and healthy guys to make that last run at the league title.
You're absolutely right, Earl. With those guys who didn't play the other day, I thought it would have been a lot closer. Obviously, we did pick Paget.
Yeah.
Not knowing
The guys were out.
the guys are out. But in saying that, with the omission of Dion Stovall, I do expect it to be a good game. I wouldn't be surprised, Earl, if this game goes into extra time.
I wouldn't be surprised either, because Paget's coming with a different mindset
I
now.
wouldn't be surprised if this game goes into extra
And
time.
FA Cup is a big difference. It's a different kettle of fish.
Right, so I wouldn't be surprised. I will still give the edge to BA, but I just won't be surprised because the fight, losing, one thing, but 5-0,
Yeah.
you know.
And you got a chance to
I won't
rebound
be-
and play that
I
same
won't be
team.
surprised. Also, might be a red card in this game. And I hate to say that, but I could see it being a bit chippy
Right.
because of 5-0.
Right. You beat me. But the good thing for Paget is that I get a chance to face this team 6 days after they beat me.
And that's my point. It's still fresh.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
fresh. So just, and I'm just saying this here. When you have a battle with someone on the field, you know, right wing or left back, and you have that constant battle all game, and you lose 5-0.
Next week, mate.
Next,
Look out.
What is the left back telling that right wing?
You ain't gonna cross me.
Not this time.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do early.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I can see certain things being played out because unless it's not like these teams have a lot of bench where, okay, you know what? Let's switch up this and
Right.
switch up that. Or
Right.
so, you're basically gonna play against the same group of guys. So it'd be interesting. I very competitive, but I will give BA the edge because we just talked about momentum and confidence, and you know when you come off of 5-0, yes, you are riding high. So let's go see what happens with Paget now having to rebound and see where they come.
Yeah. 3 weeks ago, at the same venue, St. John's Field, the Dendy Town Hornets defeated the previously undefeated runaway league leaders at the time, now hold back, PHC Zebras. They beat them 3-0. This one here will be a lot different. And I say that because now minds have shifted. Dendy Town will feel confident that they are able to match PHC physically and score goals. PHC will come into this game with a little more confidence because they were able to stop that rot of losing 2 games in a row, managing a draw. I would say I'm going to have to give the edge psychologically to the Dendy Town Hornets, only because the confidence will still be brewing after their performance beating PHC.
I will probably agree with you. If, and I say if, injuries are a part of the game.
Yes.
And over the last few weeks, PHC have missing the services of Kyle Waldron, Naeem Griffiths. Also, I'm trying to think of the other youngster. Casey Castle's come off the bench. So have they been at full strength? No.
No.
But we've seen to win everybody goes through injuries. So
Yeah.
you just can't
Right.
But PAC's only captured 1 point of the last 3 matches.
That's right.
So I will give the nudge to the home team because it's the home team. But I won't be surprised this is a draw. So I'm going with Dandy Town
Right.
for the home team. And not sure if these guys have coming back off of injury.
Right. Well, it remains to be seen.
If they have that full squad, then obviously I'll be Zebras full way. But knowing that these guys have been injured and have been out, man, these guys are some of the linchpins. We talked about our spine of teams.
Right.
These guys are very instrumental in that. So, interesting enough, if PAC's got the whole squad, then I will obviously be Zebras. But if not, you're going to have to give the edge to Danny Town because the confidence, number one.
Right.
Playing at home, number two. Hey.
Yeah. Well, we'll obviously see the outcome on Sunday afternoon. Good luck to you and the Zebras. I'm hoping St. George's can pull it off. But I as you noticed, I picked Robin Hood.
Yeah, as you noticed, I picked Danny Town.
Yeah. You had to. You've agreed with me for 4 picks. You realize that?
Like, you agree with me.
I picked all 4 first.
You did it on purpose there this time. I tell you, what I'm saying.
I picked all 4 first. Rewind. I said Robin Hood.
It was pretty easy.
I said Village.
It was pretty easy.
I said BA, and then I said Dandy Town.
We went with 3 home teams.
No, we went with 2.
Danny Town playing at home.
2. Dandy Town and BA.
BA.
The other 2 were away.
Okay,
Robin Hood and Village.
All right.
Yeah. And only because those 2 teams are playing in the Premiership and the teams that they're playing against in the First Division. Yeah.
Pretty obvious there.
Yeah. But as we get ready to finish this Digicel Sports Show, what you got on tap this weekend?
Well, personally, I'm back on. I'll be at around Devonshire Recreation Club, but also my other side, we do auditions for the Teen Service Awards.
Oh, okay.
Arts. So we'll be auditioning 24 youngsters in the arts.
I'm due to come at 3:00, so.
So we'll see if he's got his tutu on and his dancing.
Oh no! Ain't it? You said performing arts, so I'm gonna sing a song.
Or drama. Or dance.
Listen, the
Like,
drummer
y'all
I
know
would bring. The drummer I would bring. Well, I'll be Ian, and you'll pencil me in as the champion, because man, I'm gonna have you all crying. Where do you want me to start?
Also, I was trying to get I forgot the location. This week's Arena Cross, the Amazon Arena Cross to Jai Mitchell.
Yep.
I
believe it's in South Carolina again.
Exactly,
Yeah.
South Carolina. That's where it is actually. It was left Wisconsin going back to South Carolina. Then they think they go back west and come back east.
Yes, it's a lot of traveling around.
Yeah.
But it's part of the tour.
Yeah.
It teaches them how to manage their time, how to make sure you're still training and all that. And so, although you say, and you highlighted it, it's not the top, but it's getting there, and it's gradually teaching guys how to manage themselves.
And we're talking about that. When we're talking about going east west, especially during this time of year, you're talking about going cool, hot. And everybody knows Jair. Jair is not a big guy.
No.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be quite pleasant to come from Wisconsin.
Yes.
To go to South Carolina.
Sure. But South Carolina's been a little cool too. But not as cool.
Wisconsin.
Not as cool,
Not as
though.
Wisconsin.
Not as cool. But just saying that name, Jair, there's another Jair. Played his first match in Slovenia.
Which is cool too.
Yeah, but it looked quite warm there. He helped his team, NK Ruda Valenja, win 6-1 in his first match. He didn't score, but he was part of the team, played the match. So we want to wish him well in his new career. Also, we'll have an update on Dante Levrock, who's playing over in Europe as well. Unfortunately, Naki is still struggling with Burnley with time and wins. Reggie Lamb's having an up and down season with.
Started off pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I mean, they're in 13th place, and we've just heard the announcement that the Bermuda national football team will be playing 2 matches in the Caribbean. It'll be interesting to see what decision he always puts his hand up to play for Bermuda. But if his team gets on a run, he would want to play for Bermuda, but will his coach want him to? Because it's not a real. I mean, it's international friendlies.
See, that's the thing. You said friendly. They're not obligated.
Right.
If it was a tournament or whatever, then he has to go.
Yeah.
But with friendlies, it's a friendly.
He can go in and ask the coach for permission, which just about every time he's asked, the coach has said willingly, go ahead. But then, do you want to mess with your squad this late in the season? A top 10 position is not far away, and for them, Carlisle United, getting a top 10 position, it would be a huge thing. So
we talk about this sometimes in sports, but sometimes it comes down to dollars and cents. And I think that might be more of a business decision.
A top 10 in Division 2 is a huge moneymaker, more than finishing 13th.
That's my point.
So
that's the point I'm making. The point I'm making. Every spot, it's a
different pay scale.
So if you can help us get there, obviously you can help our program. So it might come down to dollars and cents.
Yeah. Well, we'll have an update on all these guys' performances.
And Jonte too. Get Jonte.
Jonte playing for Blues. Yeah,
get Jonte.
Yeah, they had this weekend off, but they'll be back in action this weekend coming. So
also, and since we're just on the topic of the foreign, Sean Goda's status. I know he's still doing some stuff with Man City.
Yeah, he's commentating their matches, game day matches. Yeah.
About him getting back into the coaching. I know
he's been looking. He's been testing the waters as much as I know. Last time we chatted, he had finished his licenses, but just waiting for the right opportunity. You don't just want to jump into anything thinking that I just want to get started. He done that with the team that everyone was going to from Bermuda. All those Bermudian guys.
That's what you said.
But they filled it due to financial constraints. But who knows? It's one of those things where he has to feel it's the right thing, because coaching is very temperamental. You have to manage 25, 30 babies that make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So
one more person for you. See, I'm gonna get you some homework this week. Get you some homework.
Rai, as much as I know, he's back on island. I'm not sure what his immediate plans are, but when we bump into him, we'll let you know.
See, folks, let him work.
It's a slave drive.
You know what he'll be doing this weekend?
What I do every weekend, making sure that everybody gets a little bit of coverage.
In saying that, folks, enjoy the rest of your evening.
From the Digicel Sports Show. Good night.